Yung mga minions po ni Maudigs, hanap ng hanap sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos kung nasa na daw ang Pangulo. Amidst the controversy dito sa latest aggression ng kanilang kaalyadong China. Yung ating Pangulo po, kahit pinipirwisyo tayo ng China po, tutok na tutok lang po sa trabaho para sa pagpaunlad ng ating ekonomiya, ng ating bansa. Ito yung ating Pangulo, kasama mga kababayan si Manny Pangilinan, nag-ground breaking po ng Cavitex, Calax Road, Calax Road Link. Yan ang strong leader po. Hindi po siya natataranta sa mga seryosong usapin. Tansyado niya po, mga kababayan, nandyan yung ating Mutual Defense Treaty na Amerika na ngayon sinisiraan po ng mga pro-China vloggers. Kesyo yung Amerika daw, mga kababayan, hindi man yan sasaklulo sa atin. At mahina na daw, mga kababayan, yung Amerika, pabagsak na daw yung economy. Tapos ang China po is a rising economy. Baliktad po. Ang China ngayon po ang struggling yung economy. Ang Amerika po, maintain niya po ang pagiging number one powerful, the most powerful country in the world. Militarily, pati yung economy po. Mamaya ipakita ko po sa inyo yung mga datos and the facts, mga kababayan, para hindi tayo malaso ng fake news nitong mga pro-China vloggers na lalo nilang in-intensify yung paninira po sa atin, sa ating administrasyon at saka sa Amerika. Kasi nga po, ang gusto nila dumikit tayo sa China. Hindi man po tayo pwedeng dumikit sa China. Unang-una po, mga kababayan, yung ideology ng China, hindi po kaparyo sa atin. Communist sila po, communist ideology. Tayo po democratic and pattern tayo, mga kababayan, sa Amerika. Democracy po tayo. Sa China po, walang freedom of speech. Kontrolado doon, mga kababayan, ang media. Itong mga DDS vloggers, kung nasa China sila, siguradong hindi sila pwedeng magsalita. Pag hindi po kalinya ng agenda po ng China, yung sinasabi nilang freedom of expression na sinisikil dito. Paano sinisikil po? Libre silang magmura. Di ba yun ang ginagawa nila? Araw-araw minumura yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos at sinisiraan. hindi pa makontento. Try ninyong gawin yan doon kay Xi Jinping. Try ninyo sa China. Kung baga, abutin ninyo. Tama po? Pero sa Amerika po, tulad dito sa atin, kaya nga yung isang vlogger po na Siging Panira, buwilo siya kasi nakabase sa Amerika. Ano ba? May freedom of expression. Nasa inauguration po yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. So ito yung coverage ng RTVM. Inauguration of Cavitex C5 Link Sucat Interchange and groundbreaking of Cavitex C-Link Segment 3B. Tuloy-tuloy po yung pagpapaunlad ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa ating economy. Yan nga po siya. Hanap kayo ng hanap sa kanya Marcos sees Mega World's grand website hotel contributing to tourism boom. Busy po ang ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa pagtulong sa pagpaunlad ng mga negosyo, turismo, para mag-create po ng job opportunity sa ating mga kababayan. Yung mga sinasabi po ng mga DDS vloggers na nagsisipag-alisan na po yung mga negosyante daw kasi may threat ng gira dito sa West Philippine Sea. Walang katotohanan po, hindi nagsisipag-alisan. Interesado po sila dito kasi protected tayo, mga kababayan, ng ating mga powerful allies. Japan, Australia, South Korea, naniniwala sa atin. America, European countries. Ito yung mga kaalyado natin po, mga kababayan. Walang katotohanan po na babagsak daw yung economy ng ating bansa kasi walang interesadong magnegosyo. Ang nag-aalisan po, yun mga investors po sa China, kaya yung Chinese economy is collapsing. struggling po. Mamaya ibigay ko sa inyo yung kwento. Ito pa, prices seen dropping 7 pesos per kilo amid lower tariffs. Bababa na po yung presyo ng bigas. Lalo yan, Mr. Maravillas, magagalit yung mga DDS. Kasi ang gusto nila, yung bigas mataas lang para may panira sila sa ating Pangulo. Yun ang gusto nila, hindi magtagumpay yung ating Pangulo para may issue sila. At nang si Inday po na umalis na sa unity ay may magamit na justification na itulak nila sa pagkapangulo. Iluklok na po kahit 2028 pang eleksyon. Hindi na makapaghintay. Sige po ang warning nila. Malapit na niya. Malapit na. 4 years pa kayong iiyak. And after 4 years, malamang si Inday po talo. Nagsipag, layas na po yung mga kalyado niyang politiko. Inabando na po si Inday. Si Bongo nga po, mga kababayan, inaway na ni Basti. Kasi pati si Basti po dumidistansya, hoping na sa pagdistansya niya sa mga Duterte, yung mga Marcos loyalist po, makukuha niya yung support for the midterm elections. Nakadesisyon na po yung mga Marcos loyalists na lahat ng pro-China. Lahat ng dikit mga kababayan kay Maudigs, kahit dumistansya pa, hindi na nila iboboto. Hindi na sila pa-uuto pa mga kababayan. Baga nga po si Senator Amy Marcos, masama sa madamay. You see? Ito yung sitwasyon ng economy ng China. Why China's economy is about to collapse. Ayan, ibigay ko sa inyo the top 10 largest economies in the world. In the top most powerful countries in the world by military strength in 2024. Para alam ninyo kung tama ba na luminya tayo po sa Amerika. Kasi ang linya ng propaganda po ng mga pro-China, dapat sa China tayo kasi yung China po ang papalit na sa Amerika as superpower. Malayo pa po, baka hindi na po mangyari ang pangarap ng China. Kahit nga po sa prophecy po, sa ultimate conflict po, the final conflict in the world, the Battle of Armageddon, nasusulat po sa Bible. The kings of the East, referring to China. Nasa prophecy po ang China. Talo po sa Battle of Armageddon. Tinalo po ng Israel. Kahit yung Russia po, huwag kayong matakot sa Russia. Talo po sa Battle of Armageddon. Sa prophecy, hindi magkakamali po ang Bible. Lahat ng nangyari sa mundo, past, present, and future, na susulat po, ito mga pro-China po, mga DDS vloggers po, hindi man sila nagbabasa ng Bible. O kung may nagbabasa, mali yung kanilang pagkaintindi kasi ang paniwala nila sa may-ari ng universe, si Pacquiao. Hindi nga na-protect ni Pacquiao, takot nga sa warrant of arrest. Naniwala kayo? Tama po. Ang dali ninyong maloko kasi mali yung pagkaintindi ninyo. Pati sa Bible, mali yung pagkaintindi ninyo. But before ko mga kababayan ibigay sa inyo yung full story, click subscribe muna dito sa ating YouTube channel and hit the notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa mga kaganapan dito sa ating bansa. Like and share na rin po ninyo ng ating video at huwag na rin po ninyo na skip yung ating mga commercial ads para tuloy-tuloy lang ang pag-unlad ng bagong Pilipinas. Sa mga naghahanap po ng malinis and spacious fitness gym, pumunta lang po kayo sa aming Colossal Fitness Gym. We also offer Grab Car Rental with our brand new 2023 model ng Toyota Innova. We also accept booking for those who are planning to travel via PAL, Cebu Pacific and other airline companies, local and international, and bills payment for Meralco bills, PLDT, Aleco bills, etc. Ang Colossal Fitness Gym is located at third floor, Security Bank Building, Lanco Business Park, Legazpi City, Albay.
For inquiries, look for Gilon Maravillas. Contact number 096680200949.
Yan po yung aming Innova. Lagi na pong matao sa amin. Yan mga bago naming clients, mga kababayan. Napaka-colorful, napakalinis at napakaganda ng aming gym po. Tingnan ninyo, pati mga foreigners nagji-gym sa amin. Mga British tourist po sila. Na-set up na rin po yung aming mga bagong gym equipment. May treadmill na rin po kami. Ito naman po yung bago naming product, Eye Glow Serum galing pong South Korea. Whitening po siya. Tingnan ninyo ang epekto sa aking anak na architect entrepreneur. Yung mga inquiries po ninyo, dumiritso na lang kayo sa kanyang messenger, Riz Maravillas on Facebook. Ito naman po, Firmax Firming and Lifting Cream, pinapahid po sa mga pulses and affected area. Mainam po ito sa paninigas ng mga kaso-kasuan, pati mga pains po. Ito, Automax Radiant Serum. Sa mukha naman yung application. Anti-aging po siya. You will look 10 years younger than your age. Sa mga cancer patients naman po, baka lang gusto ninyo itong itry. Ningxia Red Mix Fruit Drink. Hindi man po siya gamot, food supplement siya. Kaya lang, gawa siya mga kababayan sa goji berry. Yung goji berry may anti-cancer properties. O yung mga inquiries ninyo, mga kababayan, dumiretso na lang kayo sa aming messenger sa Facebook para masagot namin agad. Ayos pa? Ayos na ayos yan, Mr. Maravillas. O, balikan natin yung ating mga kwento. Yung mga naghahanap sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Busy po siya. Pero nakabantay siya, mga kababayan. Lagi siyang binibrief ng mga security officials sa issue po ng West Philippine Sea. Kaya lang po, hindi niya siyempre sasabihin yung mga plano. Hayaan natin siya. At yung objective natin is to de-escalate. Ganyan po ang dapat ginagawa natin. Nagagalit po itong mga DDS vloggers, yung mga pro-China po, kasi nababasag yung kanilang mga propaganda na ang gusto nilang paniwalaan natin, kinakaladkad natin yung Pilipinas sa gira. Walang ganun po. Dinide-escalate nga po, de-escalate yung tensyon sa West Philippine Sea. Kaya nga po, hindi pa tayo mag-i-invoke ng Mutual Defense Treaty. So that's the statement ng Palasyo Malacanang. Para hindi na po lumala. And we're open all the time sa dialogue po. Pero hindi maaari na sa dialogue po, ang mag-dikta po ang China. Ganon. Dapat, ngayong gusto nilang mangyari lang, yun ang susundin natin. Pag ganyan po, talo tayo. Tama? Hindi yun nahayaan ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Yun po ang rason kung bakit luminya tayo sa ating Mutual Defense Treaty and our allies. At yung objective natin, dalhin natin ito sa International Court. Kasi nandun tayo po sa pag-observe ng law and order. Hindi pwedeng brasuhan po. At yung ating mga kaalyado po, hindi po magpapabraso. Kasi pag nangyari yon, pati sila apektado po. Pag isinara ng China po itong South China Sea, daanan siya ng kalakal ng mundo eh. Yan ang rason, mga kababayan, kung bakit sila sumusuporta sa ating pinaglalaban. At dapat po matuwa tayo. Kaya ang style ng propaganda po ng mga pro-China, ginagamit daw tayo ng Amerika sa kanyang gira sa China. Walang ganun po. Kumbaga, pumutok ang gira po. Kung desidido yung China, laban natin po ito. At yung Amerika and our allies, kung susuporta sa atin, tama lang na mga kababayan na sumuporta sa atin kasi pati sila apektado. Ganyan po ang tama na pag-iisip. Kasi yan po ang katotohanan. Na ang China po, gustong kamkamin po ang hindi sa kanila. Pag hinayaan natin sila, wala nang makakapigil sa kanila, mga kababayan, para lamunin tayo. Sayang lang po ng sakripisyo ng buhay ng ating mga noble heroes pag ganon. So unahin ko muna, mga kababayan, ibigay sa inyo kung nasaan yung ating Pangulo. Kasi hinahanap po nila. Hindi man po nagpapabanjing-banjing yung ating Pangulo. Very busy siya po. Kasama siya sa Kasama niya si Manny Pangilinan po sa groundbreaking ng Cavitex. Yan po siya. Bilyonaryo Manuel Pangilinan joined President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in Cavite Friday, June 21 in kicking off the construction of a connector road linking to major expressways. So napakaganda po ng future ng ating bansa, lalo na dito sa Luzon po. Magiging overflowing po ang investments. Kaya nire-ready po ito kasi di ba na-discuss ko na sa inyo yung napag-usapan doon sa pagbisita ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa Amerika with American businessmen. Yung Luzon Economic Corridor po, ito po yung mga infrastructure na inihanda ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. It will become an engine of growth and development po sa ating bansa. Kaya todo-todo ang trabaho ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos po. Nagagalit po yung mga pro-China kasi dati, nung panahon ni Mao Diggs, ang nagfi-fiesta po sa mga kontrata, mga negosyo po, mga Chinese. Kaya sinisiraan yung Amerika po. Kasi yung Amerika, Japan, Australia, sila na yung mga magiging kapartner natin. Pati mga European businessmen. Kaya scare tactics po ang ginagawa nila. Fearmongering, wala niya napupunta ng mga negosyante kasi may brewing conflict dito sa West Philippine Sea. Sinisiraan po ng mga pro-China yung strategy ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Hindi uobra sila po kasi yung ating mga protector, America, Japan, allied countries natin, in-increase ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos yung stake nila dito sa ating bansa para lalo sila mga kababayan na may interest na tayo ay i-protect kasi may negosyo sila rito. Tama po? Yung strategy? Kaya kayo nagagalit. Huwag kami. So sabi dyan, Pangilinan in Marcos led the groundbreaking ceremony for the road link that connects Cavite to the rest of Calabarzon region. This segment will seamlessly connect the Cavite-Tol Expressway or Cavitex and the Cavite-Laguna Expressway, CALAX. Si Pangilinan po, the Pangilinan-led Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation operates CALAX while Cavitex is operated by Philippine Reclamation Authority. The President also opened the Cavitex C5 link and interchange in Sucat, Parañaque. He also offered thanks to the MVP Group for waiving the collection of toll fees for those using the Cavitex for the next 30 days. So sabi ng ating Pangulong Bongbong, this will introduce our new roads, expressways to those who are in need of that transport system. Marcos Jr. said, so we welcome this call and thank the PRA for its initiative to help mitigate the impact of rising fuel costs to our motorists. Yan po yung ating Pangulo. Pakinggan natin yung speech po ni Manny Pangilinan, yung portion ng kanyang sinabi.
Your Excellency, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., honorable members of the Cabinet, partners from the public and private sectors, to my co-workers of our Tollways Group, good morning to all. I would like first to thank the President for taking the time to join us today in two groundbreaking ceremonies down here in the South. Now, we all know that an extensive public road systems offer enormous economic benefits and convenience to our people, decongesting traffic volume, reducing travel time, and spreading the population density out of our cities.
Laking tulong po sa problema sa trapiko sa Manila, Metro Manila.
The Tollways Group always believes in the potential that the public-private sector partnerships offer. And we thank the President for his support and the local government officials for their support as well, for making it feasible to undertake consequential projects such as these that we inaugurated today. They should make our country more competitive, inclusive, and united, which future generations can look back and appreciate. So
todo sa pagpaunlad po ng ating bansa in partnership sa mga sa business, sa private sector po.
Thank you very much, MVP.
Yan po. Napakakuan lang, iksi yung mensahe ni MVP.
To the screens.
Ito po yung animation para panoorin natin po. Napakagandang project, mga kababayan. Wow! The best! Our president is a builder tulad ng kanyang tatay, mga kababayan. Di ba? Walang nakagawa niyan. Napakagaling, mga kababayan, ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Kaya inggit yung mga DDS. Talo kasi yung kanilang tatay. Walang binatbat po. Walang binatbat. Yung kanilang tatay po, ijiki-ijiki lang po. Tapos may kaso sa ICC. Sinisisi yung ating Pangulong Bongbong. Sila yung may gawa. Di ba? Napakaganda, mga kababayan. O Paranaque, beautiful. Ang ganda po. So tuloy-tuloy ang pag-unlad ng ating bansa, mga kababayan. Napilit sinisira ng mga DDS. Sinisiraan pong sinisiraan yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Kasi pag nagtagumpay po ang ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, wala na silang pagkakataon na makabalik sa pwesto sa Palasyo Malacanang. Kaya gusto nilang tanggalin. Kaya sige po ang rally nila, yung nausog. Ang intensyon nila, iluklok si Inday. Hindi nga naayos po yung DepEd. Dismal yung performance. Hindi nga naayos po yung DepEd. Isang departamento. Pagkatapos, yung buong bureaucracy, buong bansa bilang Pangulo. Ano yun? Tama? Isang agency, hindi mo naayos. Buong bansa, nangangarap ka. Balik ka na lang sa Davao doon, pwede ka doon. Pero sa buong Pilipinas, pinasubo lang ng tatay niya, mga kababayan, ang buong Pilipinas sa... Kaya ito may problema po tayo sa China. Pinabayaan niya. Mali yung foreign policy. Naging very submissive po. Kaya umabusog yung mga Chinese. Kaya nire-reverse ito ngayon ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Galit sila kasi iniisip nila, sinisiraan sila. Itinatama lang yung maling ginawa, mga kababayan, ng dating Pangulong Digong. O ngayon, pakinggan natin yung mensahe ng ating Pangulo.
When I assumed office nearly 2 years ago, I brought with me a promise to carry on the building of infrastructure projects that will benefit our economy and our people. It's not just now build, but build better more, because Filipinos deserve nothing less than that. So I stand here today to deliver on that promise with the groundbreaking of the Cavitex-Calax link in Kawit, Cavite, and the Cavitex C5 link segment 3B in Parañaque City, and of course, the inauguration of the Cavitex C5 link Sucat interchange. These 3 milestone projects bring to reality our promise to transform the lives of millions of Filipinos by systematically easing traffic flow in the greater Metro Manila area. The Cavite-Calax link, originating from Kawit, Cavite, is a 1.2-kilometer connection whose length may be short, but its impact will be substantial. With this, we anticipate a significant improvement in the road network connectivity from Kawit to the greater Calabarzon region. By establishing a direct connection to Calax, We also ease the traffic congestion at the busy intersection of Tirona Highway and Centennial Road. A while ago, we just did a quick inaugural drive through the Cavitex C5 Link Sucat Interchange. It is part of the newly completed Cavitex C5 Link Expressway Segment 2. I am pleased to have inaugurated this fitting centerpiece that will connect several major roads in Sucat with Cavitex. With this interchange, motorists will now be able to travel smoothly, safely, and conveniently from Cavitex R1 to Sucat, Parañaque within just 5 minutes. It is a dramatic improvement from the usual 1-hour travel time via existing public roads from Kawit, Cavite. This segment is set to benefit around 23,000 vehicles a day. And I was just mentioning when that first figure came out, I said, maliit yan. Before you know it, that 23,000 motorists that we are estimating for now, that will fill up very quickly as soon as they see the advantages of traveling on this really what is the bypass and circular route around the city. This will enhance our travel efficiency and ease commutes for our citizens. Finally, we have the Cavitex C5 Link Expressway Segment 3B. This is a 2-kilometer road coming from Sucat Interchange going to E. Rodriguez in C5 Road, Taguig. Upon completion, we expect that the travel time from Cavitex R1 expressway section to Slex C5 Road will greatly be reduced from what is now 40 minutes to 10 minutes. But
Grabing pakinabang po, mga kababayan.
Very rough figures. We have to put into that. You have to impute into that formulation.
Unti-unti nang nasosolusyonan yung problema po sa traffic congestion sa Metro Manila.
What are referred to sometimes as the surface roads that go into the city. Into Metro
Galing-galing po ni PBBM.
Iwas tayo doon, napakalaking bagay. And I think that, again, our estimates, although already optimistic, I think will very quickly will very quickly be filled up and surpassed. But that is a good thing, because that means that the traffic that is going from the different parts of the country, through up north, through down south, and no longer through Manila, will immediately enjoy all those benefits of a much easier, much faster, and much simpler. And we don't need to worry that much about traffic as we are having to do now. And that will, again, be to the benefit of our small businessmen, to our farmers, and all of those who require transportation for their livelihood.
Grabing pakinabang sa lahat ng mamamayan.
In completing the Cavitex C5 Link Expressway,
Be to farmers and businessmen, in ordinary motorists.
Countless motorists and passengers. So I now invite my fellow Filipinos to take advantage of our expressways, experience firsthand the ease and convenience that these roads will bring to our daily lives. This is especially so after receiving the good news that the PRA, or the Philippine Reclamation Authority, as operator of the Cavitex, proposed to suspend the collection of toll fees for all types of vehicles passing through the Manila-Cavite Toll Expressway in Taguig, Parañaque, Las Piñas, Bacoor, and Kawit for 30 days. And this will introduce our new roads to expressways to those who are in need of that transport system. So we welcome this call and thank the PRA for its initiative to help mitigate the impact of rising fuel costs to our motorists. I now count on our toll regulatory board to ensure the immediate implementation for the benefit of the riding and the transport public. Ladies and gentlemen, these flagship PPP projects are the results of a great deal of hard work, thorough planning, and collaborative efforts of the Philippine Reclamation Authority, the Cavitex Infrastructure Corporation, and of course, its principal company, the Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation. We thank you for making these monumental endeavors possible. We also give our sincerest gratitude to the architects, the engineers, construction workers, the project managers, and all the individuals involved in these accomplishments. You are the reason why we can turn blueprints into actual reality. And I assure you that your work, your patience, and your sacrifice will leave a lasting impact on our country and on our people. And we give thanks, of course, to the Filipino public for their patience, understanding, and support while we work to complete these large projects. As always, as I always say, unity is at the heart of these undertakings, and we have come this far because we have worked together in building these structures. So let us carry on with that promise that we have made to build better, more. Let us not just build roads, let us build connections that will unite and bring us closer than ever, and create pathways that will be the stream through which our vibrant society will pulse. With all of these, we are creating a nation where Filipinos may easily access and traverse our communities and have a comfortable and productive time as they do it. That is the vision of a bagong Pilipinas that we are striving to build. And I know that it is a vision which we all share and care deeply about. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay po tayong lahat at mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
Ayos na ayos po mga kababayan. Kaya kahit po humiwalay na po sa unit team si Inday, walang epekto yun. Mas maganda pa nga. Kasi hindi man siya nakikiisa. Yung pagkanta nga lang ng bagong Pilipinas hymn, ayaw niya. No comment. Pagkatapos doon sa Independence Day sa Davao, hindi man po kinanta. Pati yung pledge ng bagong Pilipinas, maliit na bagay, ayaw pong gawin. Ayaw ng bagong Pilipinas, mga kababayan, kasi ang maaalala yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos at saka si Martin. Kasi si Martin Romualdez po, pinagsisilosan nila, binabanatan araw-araw. Bakit daw sige pamigay ng ayuda? Namigay na ng ayuda, pinagagalitan pa ninyo. Bakit si Bongo namimigay din ng ayuda? At saka si Amy Marcos, hindi kayo nagagalit. Wala man anyang pandemya, wala bang calamity? Ano walang pandemya, walang calamity? May calamity po, El Nino. Buong Pilipinas, tinamaan ng El Nino, kaya ikot ng ikot po si Martin Romualdez, saka yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, para sa bagong Pilipinas Servicio Fair, para mamigay ng ayuda. Inggit lang kasi kayo. Kasi si Inday, tinanggalan ng confidential funds. Di ba? O ngayon, balikan natin yung bigas. Yan po yung balita dito sa Manila Standard. Rice prices seen dropping by 7 kilo amid lower tariffs. Tuloy-tuloy yung effort ng ating gobyerno po para mapababa yung presyo ng bigas. Yan yung sabi po ni DA Assistant Secretary Arnel de Mesa. Matapos na ipalabas ng ating Pangulo yung Executive Order number 62 para sa lowered rice tariff. So sabi po niya, the government is looking for ways to reduce rice tariffs and eventually reduce rice prices in the Philippines, which are also affected by the movement of prices in the international market. Ayos pa? O ngayon, sa isyu mga kababayan, na yung China daw po, dapat dumikit tayo. Yan ang narrative ng mga pro-China. Kasi yung China is rising, America is, going bankrupt. Baliktad po, yung China po yung pabankrupt. Kasi naglayasan na po sa kanila yung mga investors. Dahil po sa agresyon na ginagawa ng China, na turn off sa kanila yung mga bansa sa buong mundo. Kasi yung mga bansa, gusto nila yung bansa na may civility. Hindi yung dinadala po yung problema sa pagsiga-siga. Hindi po. International order. Ang gusto po ng mga bansa sa buong mundo, hindi yung barbaric tulad ng ginawa sa atin po, doon sa Ayungin, yung latest aggression na ginawa nila. That is barbaric. O yan yung sitwasyon ngayon ng China. Why China's economy is about to collapse. It is a documentary, mga kababayan, by Aaron Watson. Pakinggan natin po. Kasi kuha naman po siya, naintindihan naman, kahit English po siya, yung pag-English po niya, naintindihan po.
China has ascended to the world's second largest economy through the greatest 40-year run in economic. China's GDP grew by more than 9% from 1980 to 2019. And during that time, more than 800 million people were lifted out of extreme poverty. But the good times may be coming to an end. The capital that funded China's growth is drying up. The energy that powered its manufacturing is getting more expensive. And the unfettered growth of its real estate market has hit a brick wall. China's economy faces the most ominous challenges since the Great Leap Forward that resulted in...
Hindi totoo po na China is rising. China is falling. Parang London Bridge is falling down. Yung mga propaganda nila, mga kababayan, propaganda nga, black propaganda. Gusto nilang pagtakpan yung kanilang kahinaan para po isipin ng buong mundo. Ganun ang mindset ng China po. Lahat kasinungalingan para ma-attract nila yung mga bansa. Hindi man totoo po. Ang totoo po, ang economy ng China is struggling now. It is about to collapse.
Years of famine and tens of millions of...
Huwag kayong naniniwala sa mga propagandista nila dito sa atin, lalo na si Mr. Sasot. Yun ang mga linya ng propaganda niya, saka si Roque. Sinisiraan po yung Amerika, yung China yung ang pinupush nila.
China's geopolitical rivals should not be celebrated. It is the top trading partner for more than 120 of the world's 195 countries, which means trouble in the Middle Kingdom can and will affect everyone. In this video, we'll be unpacking the enormous debt bubble that Chinese leadership is attempting to unwind, the challenging global energy market conditions making things worse, and the most likely policy choice that the CCP must make in order to stay solvent. But if the Chinese economy is a Ponzi scheme poised to pop, then we need to first understand the 4-decade hot streak that preceded the present day.
So you see, mga kababayan, pahina ng pahina po yung China.
Encouraging foreign investment, private entrepreneurship, and global trade. These special economic zones were wildly successful, and China experienced its first explosion of growth in the early 1980s. Villages turned to metropolises. Agriculture became more productive, and standards of living rose. Places like Shenzhen became manufacturing powerhouses. It also began to fill the Chinese balance sheet, as most of the companies that flourished were state-owned enterprises. SOEs are firms where the state owns a significant or majority share of them.
Ang kinikwento niya po, yung nauna, in the 1980s, tumaas sila. Kaya nga naging second largest economy sila at naging military power. Pero after that, collapsing na po siya.
In strategic sectors such as energy, telecommunications, transportation, and finance. They're also required to abide by government mandates and public policy objectives, like employment quotas. The CCP found a model where they could funnel profits from private industry into their centrally planned worldview. And if those companies could access global capital markets, all bets were off. Which leads us to the second pivotal moment in China's economic ascent, joining the World Trade Organization in 2001.
The World Trade Organization agreement to adopt the draft.
Yung pagbagsak ng economy po, dahil po sa pagbagsak ng sektor ng housing nila po sa China.
Starting to tighten their standards for giving out a mortgage. This hits house prices further in a vicious loop known as a balance sheet recession. China is currently cutting interest rates, but it's unlikely to work because demand for that credit just isn't there. Everyone knows that housing is overpriced, and
In-overprice kasi po nila, kaya bumagsak.
said he's not stepping in to prop things up. With rates dropping in China, while the U.S. Federal Reserve has avoided cutting, interest rate differentials are widening. This means pressure on the yuan, China's currency, is building. For the last 2 decades, the People's Bank of China has held the yuan in a relatively stable mark against the U.S. dollar, which is called a managed float system. This managed float allows China to maintain a competitive exchange rate for its exports. China is trying to defend that $7.20 level, but a few cracks are already appearing. Why does this matter?
There is cracks
China's
na.
capital controls and their relatively small capital market means that the weakness in the property sector remains isolated to China for now. But China
Collapsing po yung property sector nila.
is a big investor in some other countries, and that money is going to dry up. This could be trouble for Australia, Brazil, and everyone getting money through the Belt and Road Initiative. Some are still holding out hope that the CCP will inject more money into the system and try to reinflate. But messaging and policy has actually indicated the opposite. Investment-led growth has run its course. But this slowdown will not only impact the property market, it's going to have ripple effects throughout the Chinese economy, particularly construction, cement, and steel.
Bagsak po.
In Argentina and Turkey, inflation is out of control. In places like the US and Germany, inflation is embedded in a political hot button. But in China, deflation is a whole lot scarier. This means a housing collapse, where the Chinese middle class gets its wealth wiped out.
It is becoming scary daw. Nakakatakot na.
At the same time, if development projects get shut down, enormous portions of the workforce will be unemployed. So the government needs to invest in other
Yan
sectors.
kayong naniniwala na maganda yung economy at pagandang economy ng China. Kaya yung makipaghira pa sa Amerika, malabo po. Baka hindi po masustain na gastusan ng China, ng economy ng China. So hindi sila susugal sa ganon. Kaya yung pananakot po ng mga pro-China, baseless po. Ito po yung last part ng documentary.
Drop in the cost of Chinese exports would likely just be met with higher tariffs. A Chinese economy with exploding inflation, shrinking wealth, and energy insecurity is a sinking ship. If they
Sinking ship po ang China.
this path, CCP policymakers would have to act quickly, as a devaluation of the yuan would also trigger capital flight, where wealthy individuals seek to move their assets out of China to protect against the currency depreciation. A rapid bail-in to save the banks, devalue the yuan, and peg to gold could eventually restore confidence. But in the interim, global financial markets would face extreme volatility. Germany, Australia, and Brazil would be hit particularly hard by such a shock. We will be monitoring the situation closely on this channel, and you can expect additional updates as things progress.
So, 2 weeks pa lang po ito na documentary ni Aaron Watson na nagsasabi yung economy ng China is falling down. It is collapsing. Kaya hindi po totoo yung mga propaganda ng mga pro-China vloggers dito. Lalo man na po ni Harimau na dapat daw dumikit tayo sa China kasi yung China ngayon ang siging yaman. At lumakas ng lumakas kaysa sa Amerika. Kahit nga po sa economy and militarily po, number 1 pa rin po yung Amerika. Pakita ko sa inyo, top 10 largest economies in the world. Yan po, rank number 1, Amerika. 28 billion US dollars po. 28 billion 783,000 US dollars yung GDP. Whereas yung China, mga kababayan, 18,536 billion US dollars yung GDP niya. Malayo pa. Ang number 3 po, Germany, kaalyado pa natin. Number 4, yung Japan, kaalyado natin. Number 5, yung India, kaalyado natin, kaaway pa ng China. Number 6, United Kingdom, kaalyado natin. Number 7, France, kaalyado natin. So tama yung ating, yung G7 po, countries, kaalyado natin. So tama lang yung alliance natin. We allied with the rich and powerful countries in the world. Nakaaway din ng China. Kasi po, sila communist, tayo, democracy. Aligned yung ating ideology with America and allies. Tama po? At yung China, kaaway ng Israel. Yung Amerika, protector ng Israel. Ano man niya, Mr. Maravillas, ang relasyon yan. Ang sino man daw na mag-bless sa Israel will be blessed. Yung China, kaaway ng Israel, kaya hindi siya i-bless. Talo po ng Israel sa Battle of Armageddon based sa prophecy. Pati Russia. Talo. Sino pa yung sunod? Brazil. Di ibigay na sa kanila yung Brazil. Pero barkada din natin yung Brazil. Italy, kaalyado natin. Tapos Canada, kaalyado natin. Lahat siya demokrasi. Parihas yung ideology with us. So tama po ang tinatahak na landas ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Sa military power naman po, number 1 ang Amerika. Number 2, Russia. Number 3 lang yung China. Number 4, India, kaalyado natin. Number 5 po, yung South Korea, kaalyado natin. Number 6, United Kingdom, kaalyado natin. Number 7, Japan, kaalyado pa rin natin. Number 8, ibigay na natin sa kanila. Pero nag-order nga tayo sa Turkey po ng helicopter. Number 9, Pakistan. Number 10, Italy. Yan sabi dyan, the United States holds the top position globally, boasting the most potent military force. According to Global Firepower, it has a power index of 0.072, demonstrating unparalleled capabilities in defense, technologies in armed forces, with a total of 2,127,500 military personnel in the most significant defense expenditure. The U.S. military's storied history and unwavering commitment to defense in cutting-edge technology make it a formidable force. Number 2 yung Russia. So tama po itong Mutual Defense Treaty natin. Tapos yung mga EDCA sites na dapat dagdagan pa nga natin. Ang intensyon ng mga pro-China rito, siraan yung Amerika at gusto nilang ipatanggal yung mga EDCA sites. That is the agenda ng China para madali yung paglusob nila, yung pag-invade nila sa atin. Kaya galit na galit po sila. Sinigong po ayaw ng EDCA sites. Puppet kasi po ng China. So ang sinasabi po nila, magiging magnet lang. Nung nandito yung US military bases po, Subic pagkatapos yung Clark, walang hindi nag-intensyon, hindi umabanti yung China kasi nandun yung Amerika, mga kababayan, nang palayasin po ng mga senador, hindi na rininyo kasi nalason po ng mga propagandista na funded pala ng China. Ayun, ito na tayo po. Umabanti sila. Sila yung nag-establish ng military base dito sa Spratlys. Huwag nang pauuto po. Tama? Ayan man lang po, mga kababayan. Ako po si Dante Maravillas. Bye-bye. God bless.